Hello there, everybody. It's Sophia Mona Lisa of the Golden Ray Center and the Roseville Mystery School. And so you're probably wondering, what have I got to share with you today? Because I've been sharing, sharing. Well, this is an exciting day, believe it or not. Um, First of all, I'm calling this video journal The Renaissance of Humanity. For those of you that don't know what the word Renaissance means, it means rebirth. But I'm using this term specifically, and there are a couple of reasons why, and I will share them as I go through the presentation. But first, let's look at why is it that I selected Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man as the cover image for this Renaissance of Humanity. So we need to understand what the significance of this image is. And let me see, where can I put my own image? Hold on a second. Let me get all this moved around for you. All right. So if you aren't aware, the Vitruvian Man drawing is very, very famous. Leonardo da Vinci did this work in approximately 1490, so that's considered 15th century. Leonardo da Vinci himself was considered a Renaissance man, and that's because he was a master of so many bodies of knowledge, including arts and sciences and all kinds of other things, mechanics, mathematics, etc. I guess mechanics and mathematics could fall under the sciences, but anyhow. And the reason he drew the Vitruvian Man is because he wanted to explore the idea of proportion. And so this image of his really conveys his belief that everything connects to everything else. And of course, if you understand proportions, you understand at the very basic proportion that we have, what is it called? Hold on just a second. I found the word. I was having a hard time pulling it in. It's from mathematics. It's known as the golden ratio, and you find this in the spiral of a shell. They say that a person whose face has the golden ratio built into it is considered the most beautiful face. And of course, ratio and proportion are two words that basically mean the same thing. So this is what he was looking to dive into through this diagram, because of the fact that this golden ratio, based on these proportions that he was looking at within the Vitruvian Man, is found throughout nature. And so, of course, that even further substantiates his belief that everything connects to everything else. And back then, that was like radical beliefs. Now we know science has been able to prove that that is absolutely true. Everything is connected to everything. So the image, the Vitruvian Man, is based on an actual Roman architect and engineer whose name was Vitruvius. And Vitruvius lived between 30 and 15 BC. So, you're talking at least, I would say, almost 5.5 centuries before Leonardo da Vinci created this image. And so the big thing about this image is that it is considered, this particular piece of work that he did as the Vitruvian Man is considered the epitome of Italian Renaissance ideas, in that it has both artistic and mathematic value. Now, this is significant because I'm calling this journal The Renaissance of Humanity. Leonardo da Vinci is considered a Renaissance man, and this particular image, the Vitruvian Man, is considered the epitome of the Italian Renaissance ideals, in that it has both artistic and mathematic values. Artistic and mathematic. So let me bring you around to there. Let's first look at the mathematics. When I do astrological readings, mathematics is included because we're looking at degrees, minutes, and seconds of aspects, angles that are at 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 360 degrees in aspect to each other. So there's a lot of mathematics. But the other thing is there's a lot of creative, artistic infusion with that as well, because I'm reading the frequencies and I'm receiving from my higher mind what it is that those luminary bodies who are sharing their frequencies with us, what it is that Sophia and Sopha-Christ consciousness is wanting me to share with you around those frequencies. And for people that are interested in numerology, sometimes I pointed to some of the numerology. What is the word I want to look for? I can't find the word. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my, oh, I know what's wrong with my mind. I'll tell you in a minute. Anyhow, the different aspects of numerology that are significant that show up. And so one of the numbers that I have pointed to in the past that have been significant coming up is this number of the Magdalene, and that number is 22. Okay, so what's happening today where also this number that is related to the Renaissance of humanity, and where this number of the Magdalene is significant, and why my mind is like, can't find these words. We are having a huge paradigm shift, a huge shift in power today, because today Pluto is stationing retrograde. Huge. Yesterday's video journal was on the Venus square Pluto. The day before, Pluto was going to station retrograde. I didn't mention that because I knew I was going to do this journal for you. So let's take a look at the chart and how it's the same and how it's different from yesterday, and why this number 22 is so significant in terms of the number of the Magdalene. So here we go. First of all, before I get into the whole Pluto stationing retrograde thing, let's remember yesterday's event. Venus over here in Taurus squaring, that's a 90-degree angle, Pluto. But yesterday Pluto was direct, now it's retrograde. But who is involved in that aspect? If you can recall from my journal yesterday, the star Meroc from Andromeda is involved. And apologies, let me just correct. I said that Meroc was at 0 degrees of Taurus. It's really at almost 1 degree of Taurus. And since yesterday, Venus has moved forward from 2 degrees to 4 degrees, but they're still pretty close. conjunct, approximately 3 degrees conjunct. And so this is still, these aspects from yesterday are still in effect. Mars is still there in Aries, making that semi-sextile, the effect of the sacred helpmate at that 30-degree angle with his beloved, the sacred feminine. Mars representing the sacred masculine, Venus representing the sacred feminine. They are working together as sacred helpmates, and Mars is still making a semi-sextile to Pluto and the cosmic Christ. They are still conjunct. But remember yesterday, Pluto and the cosmic Christ were conjunct within 1 minute. The cosmic Christ was standing down here at 2 degrees 5 minutes, and Pluto was standing at 2 degrees 6 minutes. Since yesterday, the cosmic Christ has moved forward over Pluto and is still closely conjunct, but not by 1 minute. I can't do the math, probably about, because again, my mind, right? This is all happening in Aquarius. The mind is like, whoosh, right? How can I kind of, I'm having a challenge trying to not only find my words, but like latch on to something here, okay? Because of this retrograde motion. Remember what retrograde motion does. It brings your awareness from the external reality into the inner reality, right? The inner reality is all spirit. It's not the mental body, okay? And so this is really requiring me to kind of tap higher into my higher mind, into my Christ consciousness. And so just want to say that those are some of the differences from this aspect yesterday. Venus has moved up a couple of degrees. The cosmic Christ has moved over Pluto, and Pluto is now stationing retrograde, okay? The other thing that's different is that those luminary bodies are in different houses, giving them a completely different flavor, right? It's like going into the ice cream shop to get vanilla ice cream, but they ran out of chocolate chip. And so they took all the vanilla ice cream and they added chocolate chips. It's got a whole new flavor, right? Okay, let's look at this Magdalene number, 22. This will flip and blow your mind. First, we see over here that the ascendant is at 22 degrees. And then, of course, then the descendant is at 22 degrees. They're making an opposition. And I'll come back to the rest of that. But let's talk about the cosmic Christ. He's at 2 degrees, but 2 degrees, 22 minutes. Let's look at the Magdalene, right? Your inner Sophia consciousness. She's at 22 degrees, 44, right? 22 times 2, 44 minutes. That's freaking incredible. All right. She's up here in Aries. I know you can't see the glyph for Aries, but there it is. Then we've got Uranus. Uranus at 22 degrees of Taurus. And so what's happening here is this axis from the ascendant to the descendant, from Leo, that's the glyph for Leo, to Aquarius. This axis is known as the mastery path of relationship equality, okay? and it's making what's known as a T square. So this is the top of the T, it's upside down. This is the stem of the T, and it's rooting here into Uranus and also Jupiter, right? We had that event of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus that happened on, I think it was the 20th, right? That event that happens only every 83 years. So they're still within 2 degrees conjunct. So what happens with the T square? Of course, it involves an opposition at the top. And I've told you in the past that what happens is that the frequencies here blend together. They blend together to create something new at a higher vibrational set point. Well, we don't have any luminary bodies here that are adding frequencies, but the sign of Leo, the sign of Aquarius, they have frequencies that are blending together. And the ascendant is the boundary for the first house, ruled by Aries. And the descendant is the boundary for the 7th house, ruled by Libra. Okay. So fire and fire, Leo, Aries, fire, fire, Aquarius, Libra, which rules the 7th house, air and air. Okay. Aries, the first house, ruled by Mars. Where did he go? Right here, the sacred masculine. The 7th house, Libra, ruled by Venus, the sacred masculine. There's a lot of, like a tapestry. These frequencies are blending together in order for us to have a higher vibrational set point in terms of our mastery of the relationship equality between our inner feminine and our inner masculine, as well as our Christ heart and our Christ consciousness. This is flipping huge, and it's being grounded here at this Uranus Jupiter conjunction. So remember, Jupiter expands, it amplifies exponentially everything it comes in contact with, right? It's like taking the flame of a match and then boom, it becomes a bonfire. Okay. And Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, where we've got all of this stuff coming on, right? Liberating our consciousness, bringing our consciousness from the egoic self into the consciousness of the Christ self, Christ consciousness, Sophia, Christ consciousness. And in Taurus, what's happening is they are creating, well, Jupiter is creating the space, right? He's expanding the internal space for us to embody the higher frequencies that's coming through this T square, and Uranus that is liberating us. Okay, this is huge. Meanwhile, you'll notice that the Magdalene and Uranus are working together as sacred helpmates in order for us to be able to do this inner work, to ground these frequencies within our inner realm, to bring the frequencies from our crystalline body into our physical body. And I've showed you, oops, wrong way, this slide before, bringing the frequencies from the crystalline body into the sacred temple, right? Remember I said this is Aquarius, this is Taurus, right? Embodiment. I said that yesterday. If you haven't seen that video from yesterday, it's super important because this is kind of like building on that. And I will put a link at the bottom at the end for you to access that. So the Magdalene, your inner Sophia consciousness, is working with the liberating frequencies of yourness to help you step into this higher vibrational point of freedom, okay? And you've got all of these Magdalene numbers, 22, 22, 22, 22 involved, okay? Now, let's go back to this Pluto retrograde Osiris conjunction. Let's talk about what's happened since yesterday. And remember, the Magdalene numbers, which is that part of the tapestry that is tying everything that's happening with these aspects to those aspects, okay? It's the Magdalene numbers, the Magdalene frequencies, the Magdalene energy, your inner Sophia consciousness that is divine wisdom and knows exactly where to go and what to do for all of this to be made manifest, okay? Now, so Pluto is retrograde, bringing you into your inner space. And what's happening is in this inner space, there is going to be a renaissance, right? This rebirth. What was the word I used yesterday? Resurrection. A lot of people use these words interchangeably, and I'm choosing Renaissance specifically. I've already given you one. Oh Lordy. I've already given you one little taste of why I've chosen Renaissance, and I'm going to expand on that in a few slides. Okay, so remember that yesterday when we had that Venus square Pluto Osiris that was exact, Pluto and Osiris were over here in the first house. Today, the next day, they're in the sixth house. So yesterday it was about having this breakthrough in consciousness in terms of knowing yourself as an embodiment of the Christ and being able to align with your Christ consciousness, your higher mind, Christ consciousness. Today, the breakthroughs are regarding being able to create, manifest, be in the world on a sixth house day-to-day basis from that higher frequency of Christ consciousness. This is a renaissance of the Christ consciousness within you. Remember, I said to you that Pluto also has to do with your soul mission. And so as we're having this renaissance of the Christ consciousness and being able now to work from this platform, right? If you think about, let's go back to this image. If you think about each one of these parts of the mighty I am presence as a different floor in a house, okay? First floor, second floor, third floor. If it's a big chateau, they've got these grand staircases, and the grand staircase goes up, and then there's a landing, and then it shifts and it goes up to the next floor. And then from there, you've got another piece that goes up there's another landing, and then it shifts and goes up to the top floor. Okay. So we're no longer going to be working, being in this world of form, 3D reality from this level. We are now every day, 6th house, every breath you take, every step you make, every thought you think, everything you do is going to be from this floor. We have raised our vibrational set point. And this T square has played a huge role in facilitating this, as has the Magdalene, because I forgot to mention, look at her, she's making a trine to the ascendant in the sign of the Christ heart, which is on this floor, the higher octave of your chakras, okay, in your crystalline body, okay? This is the path of most allowance. The inner Sophia consciousness is facilitating this renaissance, this renaissance of the Christ consciousness within you, where you will be working from this density, right? No longer 3D, no longer 4D, 5D and above. Remember, Aquarius is the realm of the higher spheres. It's the realm of the ascended masters. So you can start to consciously engage your ascended master self day by day in everything you do. Notice, as I said, that this descendant is in Aquarius, which is the threshold for the 7th house, the house of who you are in relationship with. You are now coming into relationship with your higher mind, with your Christ consciousness, with your ascended master self, with this 5D plus higher sphere reality. This is huge. This is huge. And now let's take it even deeper or higher, however you want to look at it. Coming back to the Magdalene number of 22. We've got 2 mastery points in the sky. We've got the moon, who is now standing at 29 degrees, 22 minutes of Aquarius. Remember what I've said, 29 degrees is the mastery point for every astrological sign. And within that degree, there are 60 minutes, okay? The Divine Mother from yesterday has moved to this mastery point and happens to be standing at the minute that is the number of the Magdalene, your inner Sophia consciousness. Now, Neptune in Pisces, he's at 28 degrees, 59 minutes. He just didn't quite get to 2900, but he will today. 29 degrees of Pisces. Neptune in Pisces. What have I been saying about Neptune in Pisces? Neptune in Pisces. I'm sorry, I keep going the wrong way. Everything for me is like, woo, dyslexic today. Boom. It's because of this Pluto retrograde, stationing retrograde in Aquarius. Okay. This is how it's affecting me in my day-to-day life. It's like, whoa, everything is like upside down, topsy-turvy. It kind of reminds me of Alice in Wonderland world or something like that. Okay. So Neptune in Pisces is this golden ray that is coming from your higher self, your soul, your personal ray of light that is emanating from the heart of Source. that which I call the great central sun, the heart of Sophia-Christ. This golden ray coming down through the crystalline body, the higher mind, through all of the higher chakras of the lower octave, right? Let me find the words. Hold on a second here. The soul star chakra, the causal chakra, the stellar gateway, right? Stellar gateways, soul star, causal chakra, crown chakra coming in, anchoring near your heart chakra. Okay, that golden ray. So the golden ray, your golden ray in the 8th house, what is empowering you through all of this? Your golden ray is working as a sacred helpmate to the divine mother in Aquarius. Where is the divine mother? Your inner divine mother. She's up here. She is an aspect of your soul, the divine mother. You will remember that I put forward a video journal on this Inanna underworld journey. And in there, I talked about the upcoming eclipse series that is being initiated in September on the Virgo Pisces pathway of Sophia-Christ consciousness, and that the divine mother is going to be our mentorship allies for my Sophia-Christ consciousness mentorship program, and our wisdom allies, because we will soon be going into the Pisces Venus synodic cycle. And I was already shown that Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion, would be the Pisces goddess, just as Sekhmet is the Leo goddess for this journey. Okay, so this is an aspect of yourself, the divine mother, that is coming in again to, whoops, sorry, wrong way, to help with this rebirth of this relationship with your Christ self, your Christ consciousness, the renaissance of Christ consciousness within you. And as a part of all of that, I mentioned yesterday, your soul missions are going through a renaissance as well. This is huge. Okay. Now, let me move past this slide, which you've seen, and let's go back to this discussion about the divine mother, who is at this 29 degrees of mastery right here in Aquarius. Okay. Now, let me, before I move forward again, explain something about the divine mother, who is an aspect of the sacred feminine in Aquarius. What is that archetype all about? Well, it has to do with a spiritual teacher. And when we're dealing with the Aquarian energies, which we know are the realm of the ascended master, we are dealing with spiritual teachers that are ascended masters, but we are also very likely dealing with avatars. Now, an avatar is not like that little emoji thing that you create when you're playing games or in Bitmoji. That's not, they use the word avatar, but that's not what an avatar is in Sanskrit. And you need to know what a real, true avatar is. So here we are, human beings, and we're on this karmic wheel, right? We go through life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth, in the process of gaining self-mastery. We are rays that are emanations of light from source. An avatar is source that has descended onto earth and taken on a human body, but has not been through this karmic wheel of reincarnation, is not deluded or bound by the Maya of this density. And frequently, more frequently than you can imagine, source descends onto earth as a guru, as a spiritual teacher, as an avatar to help uplift humanity. This is important because, let's go forward now back to what I was sharing about the Divine Mother. When I was talking about my Sopha-Christ Consciousness Mentorship program, and I was talking about how these three embodiments of the Divine Mother are going to be our mentorship allies, our wisdom allies, this is what we know. We know that Mother Mary was not an avatar, right? She came down, she had human incarnations until she ascended, right? That's why the Catholics celebrate the Assumption of Mother Mary, right? That was her ascension. We know the same for Kuan Yin from the historical references that are available, right? She came down, she went through the self-mastery process and she ascended. We know that the two of them are in the ascended master realm, helping humanity. And now we've got Violet Tara. Violet Tara is not an ascended master, so to speak, and she's not an avatar, so to speak. She is a yidam. And a yidam is a Buddhist phrase where what you're doing is you are tapping into your own inner divine mother, right? Because your ray, your soul from source, has everything that source has. So there's an aspect of your source, your soul, that is the divine mother energy. And you're tapping into your own divine mother energy, and you're using this image of Violet Tara to connect with your own inner divine mother and to draw that part of yourself forward into your life to work with you. Okay. Now, some people have a hard time, depending on where they are in their vibrational set point, imagining doing that, making it real in their minds for them to connect and to feel into. Some people may have a hard time connecting on a feeling basis with Mother Mary or Kuan Yin or any other divine mother aspect, right? Like Isis is a divine mother aspect. And yes, I would say that she was on the earth. And yes, I would say she was not from the human race, that she was from a galactic race that came here, but still had the divine mother energies. Okay. So doing the kind of work that we do in terms of elevating our vibrational set point, you've got to be able to feel it within you. Imagination, right? However, thinking about it is a part of the imagination. However you envision it, right? All of those words are part of Aquarius, by the way, is one part, but you got to feel it. You have to put together the thought and the feeling to make it real for you. Okay. Well, fortunately, if you're having a challenge connecting right at the emotional feeling level with either of these aspects of the Divine Mother, well, I'm here to offer you something else to connect with in terms of the Divine Mother energy. And that is Mother Mira, who is a Divine Mother avatar. When the divine descends onto earth straight from source to take on a human body, they are born fully realized. We also have Amaji, known as the hugging saint. Her name was Mata Amritananda Mayi. Okay, the bliss of the Amrit that she gives to you is a Divine Mother avatar. I don't know if you know what Amrit is. It is a divine nectar, like golden nectar. Okay. And I mentioned in one of the video journals that when I was in India with Satya Sai Baba, who is a Purna avatar. Okay, there's different degrees of avatar. All of the avatars have different aspects that they bring onto the earth. Satya Sai Baba, as a Purna avatar, means that he came to earth with all of the aspects. Anyhow, as I digress, I was blessed to be able to receive some Amrit from him. And then we also have Sai Ma. Now, she is an embodiment of the Divine Mother. She, in her own self-mastery process, like you and me, has reached that level where she knows herself as the Divine Mother, as Christ. She and Sophia, she lives in her consciousness up here at the unity consciousness, the oneness consciousness, the source consciousness, okay? Where everything is one. This is where Sai Ma resides, okay? And she is here to help uplift, enlighten, and liberate humanity, just like these Divine Mother avatars. Now, why am I bringing them, the three of these, into your awareness? Because you can go and sit in the presence of their divine light, which is the same divine light that is within you. And remember what Sai Baba said, if you take one step towards me, I take 10 steps towards you. It's like an electrical magnetic exchange, okay? So what happens is you're sitting in the divine light of the Divine Mother that they are the big battery of, and they are charging your little battery. That's what they're doing. They are pulling forth your Divine Mother self. They are pulling forth your divine light. We call this darshan. Now, I have recently become aware that there are spiritual practitioners out there giving darshan to people for a price. I was appalled on several reasons. First of all, darshan is from the source light. It's free for everybody. Nobody who is an avatar or who it has achieved this oneness consciousness would even think of charging anybody for darshan. Secondly, they're fraudsters, not only because they're charging you, but because they can't really give you darshan, right? Only avatars only those beings on the planet who are at the unity consciousness level of their evolution can give you darshan. And so I'm sharing this with you because you can go and sit at their feet and receive that light and have your own light become amplified within you as a part of that darshan experience. And when you feel that divine love coming through them, which is the same divine love within you, then you will very easily be able to connect with the divine mother aspect of your own mighty I am presence. That violet Tara is a yidam, an image of, that you can connect with. Okay. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Saima. And this blew my mind. In fact, I had to text my soul sister, Maureen, right away. I'm like, you're not going to believe what just happened. Call me right away. Okay. So this just happened. Let me find the exact date that this happened. Hold on a second. Okay. On Sunday, just for reference, today is Thursday. Oh, wait a minute. Today is Thursday, May 2nd. So on Sunday, April 28th, I was working on the slides for the discourse from Sanat Kumara. And you can find that journal on my playlist under the I Am the Open Door Discourses playlist. And while I was working on the slides for that journal, I was looking for images of the violet fire. And what came up with all of the images of the violet fire and Saint Germain and the violet fire was an image of Saima and the violet fire. And I was blown away. So I went to the website and I never heard of Saima, trying to find out who is this? What is this all about? That's why I said to Maureen, you're never going to believe this. Please text me right away. So long story short, just like Peter Mount Shasta, I don't know if I told you that he was a devotee of Satya Sai Baba, as am I. Saima was going to see Satya Sai Baba, which is, of course, why she calls herself Sai Ma. And I'm like, wow, Baba, I can't believe first you sent me over here to Peter Mount Shasta. Now you're sending me over here to Saima. And I started looking into it. Well, I found all kinds of interesting things. Basically, she has a spiritual lineage that is very closely aligned with my spiritual lineage. Satya Sai Baba, Master Yeshua, Babaji, Maitreya, Shiva, Archangel Michael, Saint Germain, and of course, she works with the Divine Mother, Mary Magdalene, as an aspect of the Divine Mother. She works with the violet fire that she learned from Saint Germain. I was blown away that in the midst of putting together the slides for the discourse from Sanat Kumara, that was discourse 10 of I Am the Open Door, Ascended Master Discourses, that I get directed to Saima. It was incredible. Well, fast forward last night, all of a sudden on my YouTube feed, front and center, is this recording from Sai Ma, Redefining Reality, Energetic Recalibration with Higher Consciousness, right? The Aquarian realm, okay? It's in 3 parts. This blew me away. I will put links below for you to these videos. First of all, okay, I discovered that she recorded this discourse on April 9th of last month. So let's look back at April. April 7th was the Venus Gate activation of the Death by Intent portal, that 21st strand of DNA that includes cetacean DNA. April 8th was the total solar eclipse. And this is recorded April 9th. Just incredible. And in here, she talks about from December, right? December 2023 through the next couple of months, how humanity is experiencing a renaissance. A renaissance. And I was blown away. First of all, because if you think back to December, December was the Venus Gate activation of the heart chakra. Okay. It was also when Betelgeuse was occulted. And that only happens like every 100 years or so. Okay. So we've had this event in December that only happens every 100 years. We just had this event that happened in the past couple of weeks that only happens every 83 years. And I know I said I would do a video journal on the occult of Betelgeuse, and I still intend to do it, but I have to tell you, it feels so big in terms of what happened and what's desiring to come through, that I'm still sitting with it. I haven't been able to put together, but I knew when she said from December through the next couple of months, humanity is going through a renaissance. I knew that it had to do with that occult of Betelgeuse. And guess what's happening over the next couple of months? The Inanna underworld journey, right? I've been talking about this for several weeks now. I've been talking about using Violet Tara and the Violet Fire as a spiritual practice to purify yourself through the Inanna underworld journey. Basically, what I can tell you, which first of all, I please go listen to these 3 video journals. They're around 15 minutes each, a little less, a little more, okay? But I have to tell you, since starting this Leo goddess journey back in August of last year, and especially since December, when the whole occult of Betelgeuse happened, because quickly on the heels of that, the Ascended Masters came into me. Honestly, I have been feeling like I've been out on a limb. Pardon me, Shirley MacLaine, for borrowing that expression, but I've been feeling like I've been out on a limb by myself. And now I listen to this discourse that she did right on the heels of the Death by Intent portal, right? Remember, that's the jumping off place for the Inanna underworld journey and the total solar eclipse. What did I say about the total solar eclipse? It was the I am presence coming in. And practically everything she says in this discussion from April 9th. Now, she uses different words than I do, but you get to a point in your frequency that even if someone is using different language, you understand energetically that they're saying the same thing that you are saying. that they're sharing the same wisdom that you've been sharing. And it was such a relief for me to feel like, wow, I am not out on this limb by myself. Because I'll tell you, sometimes it feels like I'm putting all this out there, but nothing is coming back. Maybe there'll be a few likes. Maybe somebody will say, oh, wow, that was powerful. But in terms of any real engagement, nothing coming back. And so this was a huge energetic boost that happened for me. Dare I even say, as the cosmic Christ was, Osiris was crossing over Pluto. I believe it. I believe it was. I believe that that's why. I know. I know. That's why this video, part 1, showed up on my YouTube stream. So I highly recommend them to you. So this Pluto retrograde, stationing retrograde today, it is a phenomenal paradigm shift. It is a phenomenal shift in energy from out there to in here. What is it? Through this renaissance, is your soul agreeing through this new contract to participate in its mission to help liberate humanity? We're going to look at that. You'll remember from my video yesterday, and I will put the link at the end, that I was inspired to offer 2 readings, 2 different kinds of readings, each one at a 50% discount. Well, one of them was a soul mission reading. So let's look a little closer now at Pluto and his movements and your soul mission, which, you know, I look to Pluto for. So first of all, ever since the United States of America was getting ready to have a Pluto return, and if you'll recall, that was activated 3 times, I have been talking about, in a general sense, that Pluto's shift into Aquarius was going to be this rise of global consciousness. I've been talking about how that's important because it's a first step in terms of conscious equal partnership, mastery of relationship equality, in terms of being welcomed into the galactic community. Okay. Well, today, which is May 2nd, Pluto stationed retrograde. Why is that important? Well, among many reasons, which I've already tapped into, one of the reasons is that through this retrograde journey, what'll happen on September 2nd or September 1st, I don't know. I'd have to look at the exact time to tell you, 1st, 2nd, okay? Pluto will cross the threshold from 0 degrees Aquarius, 00, to 29 degrees of Capricorn, 59 minutes. This is the last time until November 19th, he will move back into Aquarius. These 2.5 months, from about September 1st, 2nd to November 18th, 19th, this is the last time for about approximately 250 years that Pluto will be in Capricorn. This is a big deal because, as I mentioned in yesterday's video journal with the Venus square Pluto event, and I talked about how Pluto was conjunct within 1 minute of the Christ, cosmic Christ, talked about those babies coming in with that encoded in their charts. Whoosh. And the babies that have been coming in while Pluto has been in Aquarius, but also the babies that have been coming in while Pluto is in Capricorn. These are highly evolved souls coming onto the planet. Okay, so what I wanted to share with you in terms of my offer to do a soul mission reading is I wanted to give you a sense, more of a sense of what the soul mission reading is all about. Now, I love this image here because it says your soul mission is to learn about the divinity within you and to grow it. And fundamentally, that is true. But how are you doing that? And there's two ways that you're doing it. One, depending on where Pluto is located in your natal chart, determines your soul tribe. When I say where Pluto is located, that goes back to this placement. Pluto is located in Aquarius. Babies being born are a part of the Aquarian soul tribe. In September, when Pluto will have retrograded back into these last mastery degrees of Capricorn, babies born with Pluto in Capricorn will be a part of the Capricorn soul tribe. So it's important to know what your soul tribe is. And that's basically generational because Pluto spends approximately 20 years in an astrological sign. Okay. And the other thing I look to, so hold on before I do that. So Pluto in an astrological sign, giving you your soul tribe, gives you like the umbrella mission of your soul tribe. Now, depending on the aspects that it's making, right? Let me show this to you again, right? Like these are the aspects. It's making a sextile to Mars. It's making a square to Venus and Mirroc. They are making a semi-sextile aspects to Mars. Okay, these are the aspects. These define your specific soul mission under the umbrella of your soul tribe. And then the other thing I look at, this is the glyph for Chiron. Hold on. I don't know why I included this. Let me fix this because I don't look at Chiron, but for some reason, the cosmic shaman is wanting himself to be known. Hold on just a second. Let me fix this. Okay. This was what I was looking for. This is the glyph for the North Node, right? These are the glyphs for Pluto. And you'll notice that in my chart that I showed you of Pluto stationing retrograde, it uses this glyph. So I'll go back so you can see that. See, it uses that glyph. Okay. Here's the North Node. Now, why did Chiron want to be me to make aware of it? Okay. He's at 21 degrees. He's closely aspecting the Magdalene. He's bringing in that shamanic medicine of Aries, which is the self-love, capital S, the love from your higher self, that pure love. That's what Chiron is bringing in. Okay, remember I said that at the total solar eclipse, boom, your soul, your I am presence was flooding you with divine love because the total solar eclipse, which was the moon-sun conjunction, was at an exact conjunction with Chiron in Aries to degree, minute, and second. Okay. Now, the other thing is notice that he is in the 9th house. So the spiritual medicine of the 9th house has to do with what has spiritual meaning and truth for you. And look at these breakthroughs in consciousness that are happening with this T-square. And so he is a part of this trine, this path of most allowance with Magdalene to the ascendant. And I will update. Well, it won't matter if I update this, but what you'll see is right here. Right here, it should say Magdalene or Chiron / Magdalene, 21, 22 degrees. Okay. What happens with that? All the stuff that used to light you up, light your fire, right? Maybe it was binge watching some program on TV. Maybe it was, drinking coffee all day long from Starbucks, whatever your sensory pleasures were that were excessive, right? Maybe you shop till you drop. What you'll discover is that those behaviors that used to turn you on, they don't do it for you anymore because they don't have spiritual meaning or purpose. It's kind of like, in your 20s, you loved going out clubbing, right? Dancing all night long. I did it too. But then you get in your 30s and your 40s, and especially in your 50s, and it's like, I'm not going to do that. That's not where I want to be. Okay. So it's kind of like that, but on a higher frequency, because now all of a sudden, you're going to want to be connecting with the divine mother energy. You're going to want to be developing spiritual practices that help you connect deeper and deeper with the truth of who you are. 9th house. Okay. So that's why Chiron showed up, because he wanted me to share that piece and I hadn't done it yet. I mean, it's crazy how this stuff happens. So coming back here, these are the pieces that I look at for your soul mission chart. Pluto and its aspects. Pluto for which soul tribe you're a part of. Pluto and its aspects for what your unique soul mission is in your soul tribe. And the North Node tells me exactly how you intend in this lifetime to accomplish that soul mission. And so what I'm saying is, with this Pluto stationing retrograde, this conjunction with the cosmic Christ and all of the aspects involved, this renaissance of the Christ consciousness, the soul missions, the soul contracts are having a renaissance as well. I spoke through that in yesterday's video, maybe not in the same way as I am today. But so I wanted to tell you that about the soul mission reading. And then I want to go through the different soul tribes with you. So I've created a slide for each of the different soul tribes. We're going to start with the Aquarian soul tribe that has been coming in. Okay. So notice that the members, the souls that are a part of this Aquarius soul tribe started coming in last year, and they will continue to come in through 2044. But recognize that there has been a period between 2023 and 2024 when Pluto's been moving back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn. And so while I'm giving you the general range here, if you're on the outer end of these range, you may not be, for instance, an Aquarian soul tribe member. You might be a Capricorn soul tribe member. Okay. So you have to look at your chart to know specifically which soul tribe is yours. This is just a general parameter of the souls that are coming in to this tribe and when that's happening. So who are these souls? These souls are the souls that I call the liberating visionaries. Now, I say I call the liberating visionaries. everything that I'm going to give you about each one of these soul tribes has been downloaded to me from Sophia. Okay. And they've been tweaked since I first started receiving this message. So this is the latest and greatest, right? If you've received information about your soul tribe in the past, stay tuned because it might have been tweaked. There might be more information here. This latest and greatest is a part of the Renaissance of humanity that Saima is speaking to in that discourse that she did on April 9th about what's been happening since December through up to the next couple of months. Okay, these souls are born with the lower minds, right? That's the egoic mind aligned with the higher mind, the Sophia-Christ consciousness. Further, their wills, right? The egoic will is aligned with divine will. Divine will is Christ. As such, they bring with them the ability to recognize the unity and diversity, the frequencies that they pour into the collective consciousness of humanity will enable humanity to become free from all the programming that prevents individuals from being humanitarian, inclusive, and freedom-loving. They are dedicated to helping humanity master relationship equality. Their frequencies are uplifting humanity into becoming a global community, which requires relationship equality so that we can step into the galactic community. So those are the Aquarius soul tribes. And if you've had babies recently, your baby is very likely in the Aquarius soul tribe. So this will give you a sense of who it is that you're holding in your arms. Okay. The next tribe that I'm going to speak to is the Capricorn tribe. Remember, the last souls that are a part of this tribe are coming in this year between September and November. Okay. And they have been coming in over the past almost 20 years. Okay. The Capricorn soul tribe goes from 2008 to 2024. So like I said, between 2023 and 2024, if you don't know what your baby's birth chart looks like, they could be either a Capricorn soul tribe member or an Aquarian soul tribe member. And you may want to take advantage of my May special to get a soul mission reading for your baby so that you can, from the beginning, support that divine being in its mission on planet Earth for humanity. Imagine if somebody had done that for you from the very beginning. Okay, we can start engaging with our children that come through us that are not ours in this new way, through this renaissance of humanity. So I call the Capricorn soul tribe the masters of sovereignty. These souls are born as fully sovereign beings and do not need to go through the process of reclaiming their sovereignty in order to step into their divine power. They arrive here on the planet already knowing that they are embodiments of the divine, and they stand firmly in their divine power. These souls come in as way showers to model to humanity what it looks like to manifest in this world of form from this balanced inner feminine, inner sacred feminine, inner sacred masculine. Balanced means that the inner sacred feminine, the inner sacred masculine are in hieros gamos, sacred union. Okay. It is from mastering this inner balance that we can reclaim our own sovereignty and learn to stand in our power without dominating and controlling others. So this is a really important, I mean, they're all important soul tribes, but right now, in terms of what's been happening on the planet, these soul tribe members especially are a great gift to humanity. Okay, so before the Capricorn soul tribes started coming onto the planet, the Sagittarius soul tribe was showing up. And they started showing up from 1995 through 2008. Keep in mind, right, 2008, you might be a Sagittarius soul tribe member, or you might be a Capricorn soul tribe member. So you gotta look at your chart. That's all. I can't stress that enough. Now, it turns out that there's two waves of millennials. The Sagittarius soul tribe is the second wave of millennials, and they are the truth seekers. These souls are dedicated to discovering truth and seeking higher and higher levels of spiritual truth. The realization of these truths is a significant precursor and the necessary foundation for the work of the Capricorn soul tribe. These souls had to come in order for the next tribe to be able to come in and build on what this Sagittarius soul tribe is doing. They are also dedicated to teaching humanity the truth of who we are as divine beings and as a Christed race, a Christ race, okay? This whole renaissance that's going on right now. Remember what I said up here? Let me pull the chart back again. Hold on. No, I'm sorry I keep flipping back and forth, but it's like whoosh. Ninth house. This is Sagittarius. Remember what I said? The path of most allowance. Now we know the cosmic shaman and his spiritual medicine, and Magdalene, the inner Sophia, is the path of most allowance in order for this breakthrough of consciousness, this renaissance to happen. And what does it all come down to? It comes down to the truths that this Sagittarius soul tribe has been focused on bringing into the awareness of humanity, right? We are divine beings. You've heard the expression that you are a divine being having a human experience, right? We are divine beings, but more than that, we are a Christ race, okay? This is why, like in the work that Marianne Williamson does, there's some quote, I think it's from her, about, you know, that the dark forces are afraid of you figuring out how powerful you are because of the light that you are, something to that effect. But you know, if you know Marianne Williamson's work, you know what quote I'm trying to pull through, okay? Because we are a Christ race. We are not sinners, okay? All right. The first wave of millennials that came in before the Sagittarius soul tribe is the Scorpio soul tribe from 1983 to 1995. My own son, my precious son, is a part of this soul tribe. He came in 89. As a first wave of millennials, they are the alchemists. This is huge. They are dedicated to transmuting and transforming the lower frequencies on our planet that were seeded by the dark forces, transmuting those into these higher frequencies, right? These higher frequencies that the Sagittarius tribe is always aiming for. Higher levels of integrity, higher levels of spiritual truth. This is what the Scorpio tribe is doing. It's alchemizing those fear-based frequencies into love frequencies, right? transmuting fear into love, bringing separation consciousness into unity consciousness. This is incredible, the job that they are doing for us. Why do you think that there has been so much revelation about what's been going on this planet ever since the whole, you know what happened with the steel and with the pandemic, right? This is evidence of the work that the Scorpio soul tribe has been doing, because remember what Scorpio does. It takes what's hidden and it brings it into the light so that it can be transmuted, so that it can be transformed into a higher frequency. Okay. All right. The soul tribe that came in before the Scorpio soul tribe is the Libra soul tribe, coming in from 1971 through 1984. My brother is a part of this soul tribe. He was born in 72. These soul tribe members are the restorers of sacred partnership. They are dedicated to restoring conscious equal partnership between the masculine principle, that's Mars, and the feminine principle, that's Venus, right? Remember that there are different manifestations of the masculine and the feminine. The masculine manifests as Christ, the feminine manifests as Sophia, right? It manifests as the divine father, as the divine mother, as the holy soul, as the Holy Spirit, as the son, as the daughter, okay? All kinds of aspects of the masculine principle and the feminine principle. And every single one of those aspects of masculine and feminine must be in balance, must be in conscious equal partnership, right? Coming back to that Hieros Gamos, sacred union. This is an important tribe that has come onto the planet to assist humanity in its ascension, because one of the first steps individuals need to take when they step onto the spiritual path is to balance their inner feminine and their inner masculine. That has to happen first. Okay. All right. Before the Libra soul tribe came my soul tribe, the Virgo soul tribe. I was born in 63. Oh, I should look at my, see, this is a perfect example. I just presumed that my brother's a part of the Libra soul tribe, but he was born in 72. He might be a part of the Virgo soul tribe. I would have to look at his chart, and I never have. But this soul tribe started coming in 1956. And this soul tribe is the return of the priests and the priestesses. That's why I am so, was so attracted to the shamanic priestess process that Nicole Christine brought onto the planet, and then did the alchemical creation high priestess process as well. In fact, I said today's May 2nd. 4 days from today, May 6th, will be my 7th anniversary as an alchemical creation high priestess. That was the day I did my emergence. So the return of the priests and the priestesses, we have spent many lifetimes in service to the sacred feminine through the ancient mystery schools of all cultures. Again, this is why I was inspired to create the Roseville Mystery School, okay? We have returned to support the re-emergence of the sacred feminine on Gaia, on this planet Earth. Part of our sacred service includes re-establishing the ancient knowledge, the gnosis, that Sophia is the beloved of Christ. That got wiped off the planet in most parts. There are some Eastern bloc areas and parts of Russia where they still remember Sophia, but for the most part, she got wiped off the planet by the sinister forces. But not only that, she is the beloved of Christ, also assisting in bringing forth the Sophia consciousness as divine wisdom and as the second coming of Christ. Yes, I did a whole video journal. You can find it. The second coming of Christ, the emergence of Sophia through humanity. I did that back, holy cow, 2022. I don't remember exactly December or January, December 2021, January 2022. It's on my YouTube channel. All right. So before my generation, my mother's generation, right, was the Leo soul tribe. They started coming in 1938 and continued to come in through 1957. My mother born in 1944. Okay. This soul tribe is the radiant heart lights. They came to Earth as a triage team for humanity. They are expressly here to crack open and expand the compassionate heart space of the people who shut down their heart chakras because of how they were traumatized during the First and Second World Wars. This sacred work also includes healing the individuals who inherited those traumas through their ancestral lineage, thus having closed heart chakras as well. So we know that there were intense wars on this planet before the First and Second World Wars, but they kind of took like a whole different level of but the ones that came before the wars, those people were traumatized. The traumas carry on through the lineage. And these people that were traumatized into their lineage, into the children and the grandchildren that they have, okay? All of that trauma through those lineages has to be cleared out, dissolved, and consumed. And this Leo soul tribe agreed to come and do that healing work, all right? These souls are dedicated to assisting humanity shift from the lower octave sacred temple into the higher octave crystalline body. Okay, so that goes back to what I said before about the lower octave chakras. That heart chakra in the lower octave is the compassionate heart, and the higher octave chakras of the crystalline body. That higher octave is the Christ heart. Okay. They are doing this by supporting humanity in realizing the divine light that is anchored near the heart chakra and fueling that light, right? Allowing that light to blaze up, right? Remember, think about like a gas stove. All you see is that little blue light. It's not even a flame yet. Some people only have the little blue light. But this Leo tribe is allowing them to bring that little blue light into the first spark of the flame, okay? So they are fueling the light so that humanity can be anchored in the Christ heart, restoring humanity to its divine inheritance, its divine birthright. There are a lot of these soul tribe members still on the planet, still doing significant work for humanity, for individuals that are still requiring that support in healing the heart and coming into the realization of their divine light. Okay. Now, before the Leo soul tribe was the Cancer soul tribe. My dad, born in 1937, is a part of this Cancer soul tribe. They started coming in 1914. My grandmother, my nanny, she was born in 1918. She's also a part of this soul tribe. And they are the nurturing caretakers. And let me tell you, my Nani was a nurturing caretaker. Absolutely, to the core. These souls came onto the planet to establish a safe and nurturing space for all children, especially like those that were separated from their homes and culture in efforts at forced assimilation. The United States government was a huge perpetrator of that in the First Nations communities back in the mid 1890s. Children that were treated as slaves in the sweatshops, and children that were removed from their families in welfare programs like the orphan train movement. Okay, we still see that today. During the big pandemic, I was hearing stories of how in Mexico, they were encouraging neighbors to report on neighbors if they happened to even be out of their house and in the front yard, and that officials would come in and remove children from the homes. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. I just heard reports of it. But the fact that there are still powers that were thinking that they can interfere in families in this way, even at this late date, is just mind-blowing. And thank God there are still members of this Cancer soul tribe on the planet, because they are dedicated to reestablishing the sanctity of the home environment and the protection of the family unit within the community of all races. I don't care if you're Asian, if you're Black, if you're white, if you're Indigenous, I don't care. This Cancer soul tribe is here to establish the sanctity of your home environment and the protection of your family unit. So you'll notice that this goes from Cancer all the way to Aquarius. I did not provide soul tribe information for Pisces, Aries, Taurus, or Gemini. And that's because very likely there are no soul members from those tribes on the planet at this time. Okay. So I hope that if, as you heard your soul tribe being described, that it piqued an interest in you. Remember, this is the overarching theme for you in terms of your soul mission. And now there is a specific mission that you can learn about as a part of your tribe if you choose to take advantage of my May Day special, where I'm offering these 2 readings at a 50% discount. The Christ Within You reading relates to the video journal that I did yesterday about the Venus square Pluto event. And remember, I am going to be putting the link at the end of this for you to watch if you haven't seen. Now, regularly, all of my readings, regardless of what kind, are $180. But for this limited time, the month of May, you can book each of these readings, one or both of them, and they will be $90 each, 50% discount. So you must email me by May 31st. You do not have to do them both this month. You could even schedule them both next month, but you need to book them by May 31st in order to get the $90 rate. And you do that by emailing me at sophiamonalisa79@gmail.com. Remember that Sophia is spelled with an F. So that's all I've got for you today regarding this renaissance of humanity. And I will leave you with this little excerpt that's from the dedication of merit that's Peter Mount Shasta put in his first Violet Tara volume. May you quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings, because ultimately, as a divine family, that's really why we are here. Not only our own self-mastery and liberation, but then so that we can help the rest of humanity have their liberation as well. So thank you very much for sticking with me through this journal. It was a little longer than I anticipated, but you know, it is what it is, right? I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if it was meaningful for you, please take the few moments to click on the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, why aren't you? Go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll be notified each time I put out a new video journal. And by doing these 3 simple things, it helps to get this work out to humanity. What a simple way to be in service to the liberation of humanity. So thank you so much for watching. And until my next video journal, I'm sending you all my love, heart to heart. Take care. Bye-bye.